It's a defining moment in the Western Pacific. The United States is weighing the deployment of advanced missile systems in the Philippines. A move meant to deter Beijing's growing push for dominance in the South China Sea. These cutting-edge missile programs, tested during massive joint drills, are part of a broader effort to protect global trade lanes, safeguard regional sovereignty, and defend the rules-based international order. Welcome to Geo Frontline, where global strategy, shifting power, and military readiness meet clarity. Stay with me as we explore a story of high stakes and strategic calculations, where every move could alter the balance in Asia's most contested waters. Washington has been in talks with Manila over stationing missile launchers such as the Navy Marine Expeditionary Ship Interdiction System, known as NMESIS, in key parts of the Philippines. This system was recently showcased during the largest ever joint exercises between U.S. and Philippine forces, positioned in areas that directly overlook vital sea lanes. NMESIS can strike enemy ships nearly 200 kilometers away, creating a powerful barrier against any hostile incursion. Alongside it, the Typhoon mid-range missile system, capable of launching both SM-6 and Tomahawk missiles with ranges exceeding 2,000 kilometers, has been positioned in northern regions, extending the reach of Allied forces deep into the contested maritime zones. The annual Balikatan exercises, meaning shoulder-to-shoulder, have grown into a massive display of joint strength. This year brought together over 12,000 U.S. troops and 6,000 Filipino soldiers, conducting live-fire drills, missile launches, and realistic defense scenarios to simulate a full-scale maritime conflict. For the first time, the Philippine Navy carried out a live surface-to-air missile launch from one of its newest warships, marking a leap in its modernization program. Manila is rapidly upgrading its armed forces with new frigates, missile-equipped corvettes, and amphibious units under its long-term defense modernization plan. Tensions at sea have escalated sharply. A recent incident near Scarborough Shoal saw a Chinese Navy vessel collide with a Chinese Coast Guard ship while pursuing a Philippine patrol boat, a dangerous encounter that captured global attention. The United States responded by dispatching 2 warships to the area, reaffirming freedom of navigation and signaling that it will not allow the waters to be dominated by force. Beijing, however, condemned the move, accusing Washington of fueling instability and violating Chinese sovereignty. The strategic importance of these missile deployments is clear. From the Philippines, NMESIS and Typhoon systems can cover the South China Sea, to Luzon Strait, and even parts of the Taiwan Strait, complicating any adversary's military planning. For U.S. allies, these moves are a reassurance that commitments are not just words, but capabilities on the ground, or in this case, on the islands. China, however, views this as part of a larger effort to encircle and contain its rise. Official statements have warned against what it calls foreign interference, claiming these deployments undermine peace and stability. Yet from Washington and Manila's perspective, these actions are defensive, aimed at preserving the free flow of trade and deterring unilateral territorial grabs. The U.S.-Philippines alliance is anchored in the Mutual Defense Treaty signed in 1951, which commits both nations to assist one another in the event of an armed attack. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement further allows U.S. forces access to Philippine military locations, enabling forward deployment of equipment without building permanent bases. This arrangement offers flexibility while avoiding the political sensitivities of Cold War-style basing. Manila has also been strengthening security partnerships beyond the United States. Recent agreements with Japan have paved the way for joint exercises, equipment sharing, and possible mutual access to bases. Even NATO member states, like Lithuania, are forming defense pacts with the Philippines, focused on cybersecurity and munitions cooperation. As the world's democracies respond to what they see as an authoritarian axis stretching from Europe to Asia, the strategic picture is complex. In the best case, the presence of these missile systems deters any aggressive moves, keeping shipping lanes open and the peace intact. A more likely middle path is a tense but managed standoff, where both sides avoid open conflict but remain on high alert. The worst-case scenario, a miscalculation that leads to a military clash, would have devastating consequences for global trade and security. Control of the South China Sea is about far more than just islands and reefs. It is control over one of the world's busiest trade arteries, vast untapped resources, and strategic military positions. For the United States and the Philippines, deploying advanced missile systems is not just a military move. It's a signal of resolve. The question now is whether that signal will be enough to prevent confrontation, or whether the region is heading toward a collision course. Thanks for watching Geo Frontline. Share your thoughts in the comments. Should the United States double down on its military presence in the Philippines, or look for a different way to counter China's moves? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again as we track the flashpoints shaping tomorrow's world.